just give a moment for people to join before we start the session. Very excited to have you for this session. It's an overview of the new data collection e-training modules that is being presented by the STEPE team from the Globe Implementation Office. Delighted to have you all here as well as a number of members of the STEPE team. Thank you all for being here today. Just do some housekeeping and give a few moments of time for people to join. If you're having any technical issues during the session today, you're welcome to send a private chat message to either Pilar Miranda or Carol Musalam, who are there's a one account. Pilar is actually named Globe Program. So if you send a message to her or to Carol Musalam, they will be able to help you with any technical issues. Please do say hello in chat as well, and just say where you're joining us from, and if you could rename yourself to actually include what your country and organization or role is in the Globe program, that would be wonderful. If you do need any assistance with translation, you can go to the More button on your lower right screen and click captions and translations and go to your speaking language and select it. And we hope that as we go through this session, you will ask any questions that you have in the chat. We will also have some time where we will go into breakout rooms during this session and you will be able to ask questions in those smaller groups. But please do feel free to use that chat to communicate with the GIO, whether it's the speakers or the rest of us for assistance. Pardon me. You could go to the next slide. Just a reminder that these Globe's learning sessions are part of the annual meeting from back in July, and really are meant to be an opportunity for us to celebrate the Globe community, continue to build and strengthen connections across the community, also provide opportunities for us to learn from one another and learn from activities that we've engaged in. Also, give us an opportunity to enhance our engagement with Earth system science. For example, we have an upcoming session that will be scheduled hopefully soon that focuses on lake observations and how we can connect with a lake observations citizen science project that's been funded by NASA. And then finally, our last goal is to provide opportunities to sustain Globe across all of our regions. Next slide. We do have these upcoming sessions posted on the Globe website, as well as in Mighty Networks if you signed up for the annual meeting. And again, here are some of the upcoming sessions. One is already planned for the 18th of February, and we will be adding sessions as we move forward. Next slide. So finally, our agenda for today, we have Christy Buffington, Allison Moat, and Cassie Stoffing from the STEPE team who will be providing this overview of the new data collection training modules. Then they will each go out, have a breakout room, and you will be assigned randomly to one of those breakout rooms and have some time to dive in a bit deeper on the modules. And then finally, we'll come back here for a very quick debrief and wrap up. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Christy. Thank you, Christy.
So much for that intro and welcome, everyone. It's so great to see everyone from around the world. I know you're all joining at different times, so thank you so much. And also for anyone listening to the recording later, we're so glad you're here. So we'll go ahead and share the slides, please. Today, we wanted to share the eTraining overview. You may have seen the news brief about the new data collection eTraining, and we wanted to welcome you into this new space. And we get a chance, like Rebecca said, to play around with us and ask questions in breakout rooms. And I want to thank my co-presenters, Allison Moat and Cassie Sofing. Without them, this wouldn't be possible. And also Dr. Becky Boger, the Deputy Director of the Science Training, Education, and Public Engagement team of the Globe Implementation Office. Next slide. So this process has been long in development. The Globe STEPE Implementation Office STEPE team started in the fall of 2024 to do a systematic review of all of the Globe materials. And this included the existing eTraining PowerPoint slides and also all of the learning activities and even the protocols and field guides and data sheets as well. So with an output of this systematic review was a rubric. It was done by three of Becky Boger's colleagues at City University of New York, Dr. Jillian Bain, Dr. Lucy Robbins, and Denora. And Denora's name is on the next slide, last name. And I will kind of share what they've done. So what they did is they ranked all of the existing materials for how easy it is to take that and use that in a learning space in a classroom with students. And then it changed, our focus changed a little bit in 2025, where the Globe Program Office asked us to have at the ready modules where people could learn on the fly and of all ages, to shift our focus away from just students who would be learners, and have that focus instead be for anyone who wanted to collect quality data. So we selected the Mighty Network for the learning management system, and then we presented our concept of how these trainings would look like in what's called wireframes, which are very, basic outlines of what the eTrainings would be. And that happened this summer. We got approved buy-in to go ahead and develop these eTrainings into what you see in the Globe Network and Mighty. And that all that magic happened with a very small team in fall of 2025. We had selected 10 protocols that NASA deemed that had strong mission connections. And through updating these 10 protocol data field guides, taking the field guides and making them into kind of step-by-step trainings, we saw some things that maybe needed changing in the field guide. So we made those updates and documented them in the data users guide as well. We also went through and updated all of the eTraining PowerPoint slides, which are remaining. So now you may have some confusion because we have two types of trainings. We have data collection eTrainings in the Mighty Globe Network, and then we also have the same that you're used to, the PowerPoint slides. And we also updated these PowerPoint slides so that they could be downloaded as PDF files that can be translated into any language. So where do you all come in? Well, the beauty of the Globe Network in Mighty is that it can be very interactive. So if you see something that you think that needs to be changed, we can do that very easily. And really, the Globe Network can live within this asynchronous space, or synchronous. You could even use it to do a training and gather people in wherever you live. And Cassie will go over that some more. So next slide, please. So the name that my 7 a.m. Alaska time, Jillian Bain, Denora Hudson, and Lucy Robbins were the three who really gave strong pedagogy guidance for what you see in the data collection eTrainings. And then Cassie Sofing has been using Mighty and has brought that to our STEPE team and then to all of us, including for the Globe annual meeting. And then Allison Moat has been tremendous help in getting these translated and documented, not translated, but brought into the field guides into the Mighty Globe Network. And this magic has happened in a very quick time. And really, it wouldn't have happened without all of the reviewers and beta testers who are listed here. We all just want to thank you so much. Next slide. So I'm going to go turn it over to Allison Moat now, who's going to lead us through what does this look like, the Globe eTraining data collection eTraining, as opposed to the protocol eTraining that you are used to. Thanks so much. Allison?
Excellent. Thank you, Christy, and thank you all for joining, and especially thanks to all of the beta testers and reviewers who are in the audience today. We really, really appreciate all your feedback on our e-training. So I'm going to talk about the different Globe e-training options, and we'll talk about how the protocol e-trainings differ from the new data collection e-trainings. So next slide, please. Okay, so if you have tried to enter data recently, you've probably noticed a few changes. So here on the screen, I have a screenshot of what it looks like in the Globe Observer app. So if you click on data entry using the new data entry system and try to enter a new observation, as soon as you click on a protocol to enter data for, you'll see a pop-up letting you know that you are required to do a training in order to enter data for that particular protocol. So this is an honor system. So you click the box to acknowledge that you have been trained, and there are now 3 options for training. You can either review the field guide, you can complete a Globe e-training, or you can attend an in-person or virtual workshop. So we're talking today about the Globe e-trainings. And so it's really neat because all of these are hyperlinked. So if you click on completed a Globe e-training, if you were not trained in the protocol that you are trying to enter data for, you could go directly to the training page on globe.gov, and you'll see the options that are available to you, which you can see on the screen on the right. Next slide, please. And this is what it looks like on the website. So our CES team has done an amazing job revamping all of the training web pages, and they're a little bit more streamlined and simplified. So from the eTraining website, you can see there's still the introduction to Globe, which is now an optional training. It's not required to enter data. But if you are going to enter data for any protocol, you must complete the e-training for that specific protocol. So on the screenshot on the right, you can see there are buttons. Now, there are buttons. Some have just protocol e-training and protocol assessment tests. Those are the traditional full protocol e-trainings that we are used to. And for a selection of protocols, you will now see a data collection e-training button in addition to the traditional protocol e-trainings that have been there previously. So now you've got 2 options for some of the protocols, and we'll walk through kind of what the differences are, and you'll have a chance to explore. So next slide, please. So you might be wondering, well, how do I choose the e-training pathway to fit my needs? After today, hopefully you'll be a little bit more familiar to make the call. But here we have a screenshot of air temperature, for example, where there's both a data collection e-training, which is through the Mighty platform and the Globe network, and it also has a protocol e-training. So the new data collection e-trainings, as Christy mentioned, are really designed to help prepare you to collect data in the field in a really streamlined way. So if you're ready to go out in the field and you even want to do that training on the fly in the field, you can do it from your mobile device in a web-based browser, or you could download the Mighty app and take it into the field with you. So the new data collection e-trainings are nice. They're on the go. You can take it with you in your mobile app. It's helpful for reviewing field procedures and data entry steps. And they're also self-paced, which you'll see in just a moment. The full protocol e-trainings, which are the two buttons on the right, we've got the protocol e-training and the protocol assessment test. Those are more thorough, and they're really designed to help develop conceptual knowledge. They're great for working with students or groups and providing that background knowledge on the sphere that you are collecting data for and the particular protocol or observation of interest. And those slide decks also have ideas for research questions and other pedagogical tips. And so next slide, please. And this probably looks familiar to you if you've done traditional e-trainings in the past. So these are some screenshots of the full protocol e-trainings, which also have a self-assessment. So again, as I mentioned, the full protocol training slides provide a broad conceptual foundation of the protocol and sphere. They include potential research questions. As you can see from the screenshot on the right, each protocol e-training slide deck begins with an overview and a set of learning objectives. So in the full protocol e-trainings, you're going to get a good background on the variables. So in this case, you're going to know how to describe what air temperature is. You'll be able to explain why it's important to collect air temperature data, determine correct locations to take air temperature reading. And then there's also a walkthrough of how to upload your data to the GLOBE website using the GLOBE data entry system. And there are also screenshots of the GLOBE visualization system to help you learn how to pull or visualize data from the website. So again, these are available as PowerPoint slides that you download from the training page of the website. As Christy mentioned, we have updated these slides to include the new data entry system. We have also worked on PDFs of the slides that are 508 compliant. Those will be on the website very soon. So these will be able to be read by screen readers. We put some good work into that because we know that is really important to the GLOBE community. And again, these full protocol trainings have a corresponding assessment test that's linked to the training page on the website. Next slide, please. And so the rest of the time today, we'll talk about our new data collection e-trainings, and you'll have a chance to explore these a little bit. So here on the screen, I've got some screenshots of what the trainings look like in the GLOBE network, which is the same platform we used for the annual meeting. And these e-trainings provide a very focused training to prepare for data collection and data entry. And each training follows a similar format. So on the left, I've got a screenshot of the atmosphere data collection e-training collection. And each training starts with an introduction to the sphere and a section on how to establish a study site for the sphere that you are collecting data for. So in this case, how to establish an atmosphere study site. And then you can see here for atmosphere, we've got air temperature, precipitation, relative humidity, and surface temperature. And then there's also an area for comments. So if you have any feedback or suggestions, that's where you can give us your feedback. Next slide, please. And as Christy mentioned, we created these data collection e-trainings for a selection of protocols, and these are the protocols that are available. As you can see, each sphere has an introduction to the sphere and a section on how to establish a study site. And then for atmosphere, we've got air temperature, precipitation, relative humidity, and surface temperature. For biosphere, we have graminoid biomass, tree height, and vegetative covers, also known as ground cover. For hydrosphere, we've got water transparency, water pH, water temperature. And then for pedosphere, we've got soil moisture and soil temperature. Next slide, please. And this is what this is an example of the format of each e-training. So all of our e-trainings have a similar format. So here is the example for air temperature. Each one has an overview, some information about what to do before going into the field. So for air temperature, for example, you would want to calibrate your thermometer prior to going in the field. So there is a walkthrough of how to calibrate your thermometer. And then what to do in the field. So the steps to collect high quality data once you are out in the field. And then each training also has the top 5 recommendations to ensure data quality for that particular protocol. And then finally, we have assessment quizzes at the end. And this is how you can show that you are trained in that particular protocol. So there's a 5 to 7 question quiz at the end of each module, followed by steps for entering data in the Globe Observer data entry system. Next slide, please. And so the eTraining modules are set up to work through sequentially. So you can start with any protocol of interest, and once you start, you'll work through in order. So as you work through each e-training, at the bottom, you'll see a little button that says Mark is complete. As soon as you click that little Mark is complete button, it will allow you to access the next page or the next section of the e-training. So when you progress through all of the sections, you'll make it to the assessment quiz at the end of the e-training. And these are pretty short, 5 to 7 or 8 questions. You do need to answer all of the questions correctly in order to get your e-training certification or e-training badge. But you can take these quizzes as many times as you want. And once you do that, once you complete the quiz successfully, it's really exciting. You'll get a little confetti explosion and a congratulations, and then you will earn a badge for the e-trainings you've completed. So here are 2 examples of those badges. We've got surface temperature and precipitation. Next slide, please. And finally, we also have the step-by-step walkthrough of what you need to enter in the Globe Observer data entry system so that you're prepared for the information that you're going to need when you enter your data. So each e-training includes these step-by-step instructions so that really you are prepared to enter high quality data and you know what to expect when you do get to the data entry system. Next slide. And I will turn it over to Cassie, who I've had the honor to work with on this project. Cassie, I'll do you.
Thank you, Allison. I thought maybe before I jump into the my section of it, were there any questions that you have? Anybody? If you want to throw them in the chat or turn on your video and you can ask a question or 2 before I go on. All right, well, as you think of something, go ahead and put it into the chat. The landing page to get to the Globe network is listed up here at the top. And when you land, you'll end up on a landing page that looks just like this. And there's 2 different ways to enter it. If you have attended the annual meeting, you would choose sign in up here and use your same login and credentials that you had used before. If you are new and have not attended the annual meeting and you'd like to join, you click on join. And to join, it's simply your email address and a password, and check your email for verification, and we'd be ready to go. So I'm going to switch to what it looks like. So I'm going to choose sign in since I already have an account. And here's how you do it. If you're not a member, you would create your account. The cool part is, again, if you forgot your password, click password and you can create a new password with the same email address that you have. So the last place that I was at was the Globe annual meeting, and I wanted to show you what it looks like. We created an event, so it throws you back into the spot where you last left off. We created an event for today's webinar. It shows you live. So if you've logged into the Globe Network and you see this live thing going on, this is what it is. And so you can click it and you could RSVP to say that you were planning to attend. It's happening now, so you could actually click to join the meeting. But we're going to start up here. I'm going to start with members because I've already been to the Globe annual meeting. So this is a place where you can find out who is in our network, and you can find out who they are by just hovering over top and finding their profile picture. You can find all the new people, and the tools we use randomly are applying planet faces if you don't have an uploaded profile picture. So how do you add a profile picture so you can get started? Right up here at the top, it's just an icon for right now, but you click on the drop down and you can change your personal settings. So you can upload, change your password. You can choose to deactivate your account if you don't want to be part of the Globe network anymore. Interesting that this is just new for us, but you can choose your preferred language. And while there's 7 or 8 right now, they plan to have about 13 more. And so those are coming down the pipe. We'll let you know about those ahead of time. We can upload our personal picture. For example, I'm going to just click on Christy's picture to show you what you see and why it's kind of fun to put your information out there. You have a chance to put your profile picture with your name, a little bio about yourself. And if you want to see more, you can click her profile and see how many badges that Christy has earned. So she has the pH and temperature, and she also attended the Globe annual meeting. She's been recognized, and I'll talk more about that later. But as a way to encourage you all to come back and check on a daily basis and see what's new for announcements or activities, or to find out what's new in the training, you have a daily streak, and so it will keep track for you. You don't have to do anything at all. Any questions on this part so far? So the Globe Network is a community, and as a way to keep the community network together, filling in your profile is a valuable piece of information. So Allison talked about the protocols and the spheres, and we have atmosphere, biosphere, hydrosphere, and pedosphere. And so on the left-hand side is your navigation panel. Atmosphere data collection eTraining is in the terms of the Globe Network called a collection. And within that collection, you can see that there's a few items here. Or if I click on the arrow pointing down, I can choose Explore, and it would take me back to the same information. All of these are available to you, but they are waiting for you to join them. And by joining, it just means simply it's like a library. You're going to check out the book. So if I click Join, I can now see the information that Allison talked about was starting the atmosphere data collection eTraining. There's hyperlinks in here if I wanted to jump to something specific, but there's all the background information so you understand what it is we'll be doing with the data collection. So if I want to get to the rest of the information that's in the atmosphere, because I haven't joined them yet, I can click on this and I can choose a particular protocol. And again, I can choose to join it. When I join it, I get, oh, there's 5 lessons and 1 quiz. You can see that the rest of them are waiting for you to finish them. So you click on Overview. Here are the different lessons on the left, waiting again for you to complete them. As you read through and find out what you'll be doing, what your tasks, what your materials, and you get to the bottom and you mark it as complete, that will open up the next lesson. And when you pass the test with 100%, you can take the test, as Allison mentioned, as many times as you need to. Then you will earn the badge here, and that will show up in your profile. For example, my profile has the PH badge. So you'll see the different badges that everybody can earn or has earned. Are there any questions so far? I think there might be, but
Yeah, Cassie, we do have some questions so far.
awesome.
Yeah, I'll go up. Let's see. The first question is about whether some form of training is still required for data entry. And the answer to that is yes. Before you enter data on the app or in the website, now people will have to self-report that they have been trained. And it lists the ways that people could self-report. I think Allison replied to that question with what are the ways that you can be trained. And so look at the chat for that. But one of those, if you've been doing in-person workshops, that's of course the best, the gold standard for trying to get trained in Globe is by doing Globe in a workshop. However, you can also self-report that you've been trained through the data collection eTraining in the Globe network or through the PowerPoint slides that you may be used to. The next question is, are the assessment tests a required final step in the eTrainings? So, and Cassie, do you want to mention that final step? But yes, that question from Sarah, are the assessment tests a required final step in the eTrainings?
Yes, and so you would choose to take the final test, and if you, when you pass, the confetti bursts and says, "We're excited that you've passed the test," and your badge will automatically be added to your profile. And at that point, back in Globe Observer under data collection, you can click that you passed the e-trainings in.
Yes, the one thing that's changed about this, why, you may be wondering, why are we doing this? And part of the reason why we're doing this is because funding has been, we're all still working on the first year's funds of the Globe Implementation Office and all of the teams, the infrastructure teams. So with funding shortages, even with the data infrastructure and support team, the DIS team, they are not able to build all of these tutorials in the Globe Observer app. So this is how we're building these tutorials, is through a different portal, through the Globe network. So that should answer one of the questions. One of the questions was, is the Globe network also connected to the Globe Observer app? So no, these are two different, portals. The Globe network can be both online or on an app form, and you can view it on your smartphone, but it is outside of the Globe Observer app. However, the Globe Observer app does link to it. Well, it links to the Globe website that then links to it more specifically.
And anytime you're in the Globe network and you want to get back to the Globe training page, there's a link in the left-hand column that you can return back to where you started.
And you did show the assessment test, Cassie. Another question are whether the assessment tests, the assessments, check your knowledge that you're looking at for the Globe network, data collection e-trainings, are they required? Well, they're required to get a badge, but that's for you. It's not that tracking is not linking to your Globe account. So the answer is the question was, can someone look through the e-trainings and not do the assessments and then collect data? Yes, you can see that I have only earned 2 badges, and the annual meeting, Cassie showed my profile. And that's partly because I was helping develop some of these, so I couldn't earn the badges. But, I've gone through and I've clicked through all of these and may have not finished up and taken the assessment test. But I do recommend that you go through and check those assessments. They're super helpful for collecting quality data. One of the things I really love is that there are these top 5 recommendations to ensure data quality in each module. Okay, other questions? Okay, an app question, Globe Observer app question, and it is not entirely related to the topic. Satellite flyovers haven't been updated since the 5th of January. Is it a problem with my app, or is there a general interruption of updates? Thank you for, I noticed that too. I was in the field the very first week of January measuring snow. And I also noticed that the satellite flyovers were not updating. So we're bringing this up to the Globe Observer team, but that is outside of our data collection e-training. Okay. Did I get everybody's questions? If not, Allison has given links to where you can find more information, and also the direct language that answers some of these questions as well.
Just a quick review before we go into breakout rooms. Oh, whoop.
We did have another question too about the whole purpose of the Globe Network. So, but you can't enter data via Globe Network site. So why would you visit? Why would you visit the Globe Network site if you can't use it to enter data?
Well, I would suggest that when you come to the Globe Network page, if you see any of the categories on the left-hand column in black, there's something that new has been added, or a comment or change. As far as the protocols, they possibly won't be changed unless there's an update, but there is a place in the called virtual events with the Globe annual meeting where you'll find out about new trainings, new webinars, new topics, that you would come there to find out more information about it. And you could register and you could use this as your background information. However, if you are looking for maybe collaborators in your own local area, you could find members here that would maybe be somebody you'd like to collaborate with on data collection or have a question. And if you have a question, in the Start Here section, you have any questions, join the site. And Jamie had a question, and we were able to provide an answer. But there's also our FAQ if you have a question about Mighty Network and needed a fast answer. Sometimes this is the place to come. It's also a place that we're hoping down the road, if you're a trainer and you would like to offer a training, that we can help you establish that collection space and materials that you could post for people to come and look at. So I am so excited about the questions, and I'm really excited about breakout rooms. And in our breakout rooms, what we'd like to do is to give everybody an opportunity to walk with us as we go through everything. Those are my slides. To talk about what's in there, make sure that you can get in, and then to kind of just explore on your own And Christy, Allison, and I will be hosts of the 3 rooms and are here to answer any questions. So don't leave just yet. We've got more planned.
I see that the Allison put in the chat the breakout room instructions, and I'll just read those out. And I'm copying this chat and pasting it again in my own breakout room. So Allison and Cassie, if you could do the same, it should show up, but sometimes I'm not sure with breakouts. So we do ask in the breakouts for you to just go ahead and log in, try it. Go log into the Globe Network. You can, if it's your first time logging in, you can use your same credentials as the Globe, as your Globe login when you create a new account. Now, if you did join the annual meeting, you already have a username and a password. And if you forgot that, that's okay. You can reset it.
And an email will be sent to you. So check your email to get that link to do that.
And then once you're in it, go ahead and just click on a menu option on the left. The 3 that we say we recommend are join in eTraining, then explore, and you can ask additional questions. If you leave the webinar and you think of something, under start here, there's a button number 4, questions. So feel free to continue asking questions after the webinar has concluded. But yes, in the breakout room is a great way to do this. Here are the breakout room instructions on the slide itself. And I think it's time to, go ahead and join our breakout rooms.
Anybody, the STEPE team, going to wrap up. Any last things you'd like to say? Go ahead.
Yeah, we hope to have just an overview of a couple of the questions that came up. Okay, so one question that came up is, how do you see other things that are within Mighty, within the Globe Network, that aren't a part of the eTrainings? And those spaces, each individual space, you have to be invited to. So some people wanted to be sure that they were invited to the Globe annual meeting space. And I did send in some invitations to that space, but I will also put this in the chat that you can self-select that you want to be part of the Globe annual meeting space. And Evangeline gave a really good point that all of these, you're not missing out. These are also posted on the Globe website as well. Cassie and Allison, other key questions that came up in your groups?
In my group, it wasn't necessarily a key question, but we talked briefly about recognition, what that feature is within Mighty. And it's just a way that there's 5 categories right now that you can, or 4 categories. Every day that you are in the Mighty Network, you automatically are awarded 20 points. And when you get X number of points, the whole point is to share your points in a recognition of welcoming, or you're inspiring, or it was creative or collaborative. And in our case right now, that may not be for just eTraining, that probably doesn't would apply to anybody. But if there's an addition or a change or suggestion, the hosts and moderators might give you points for saying, hey, thank you for bringing that to our attention. It's just a way of kind of sharing the love within the network. So that was the one question that we had.
And there's a question in our breakout about how to earn badges. I see Hala put it in the chat here. Badges can be earned in the Globe network by completing a quiz at the end of an eTraining module. So as soon as you do that and you click on your profile, you should be able to see that badge appear.
And I wanted to point out that one of our constraints that we had in creating these is time. We were supposed to create what's called on the fly e-trainings, which meant that people needed to be able to go through them fairly quickly and assess, how to collect measurements in the field. So plan on, at least, plan on around 15 minutes to go through an e-training and take an assessment test. However, it could take longer. It could take less than that. But these are a little bit more rapid in completing than the full PowerPoint slides and those assessment tests. So if you wanted a quick look, go forth and earn the badge.
Yep. So just in summary, if you've logged into the Globe Network now and you do not log out again, but you launch it from a shortcut or you're putting in that URL, you will end up exactly where you left off. Same as if you signed out, you'll end up back where you left off. It's the same login that you've used on the Globe website if you choose it to be. Otherwise, your password is whatever you want. Select the sphere and protocol that you're interested in, complete the training, pass the quiz, earn the badge, and then collect observations and then record your data. Allison.
Yep, and I know that we're out of time, so I just want to give a quick shout out. We are going to be showcasing projects that are submitted to the 2026 Virtual Science Symposium in the Globe Network. Participants will submit their projects through the Globe website, just like we've always done. But then we're going to copy them over to the Globe Network. So coming in February, you'll be able to see all projects there. If you have submitted a project, you'll be able to see reviewer feedback in the Globe Network. And we do have a virtual science symposium space set up now for participant resources if you would like to join it. I will put the link to the chat, or I will put the link to that space in the Globe Network in the chat. So you're welcome to join it. And that way, when these other spaces open up, the reviewer resources and the 2026 project space, you will be able to see it and you'll be able to join it. So stay tuned for more information about the Virtual Science Symposium in the Globe Network. And with that, I'll turn it back over to you, Rebecca.
Great. Thank you, everyone. Thanks so much again for this. I think it was really informative, and we will put the recording up on the website so it will be available for others to see. We have one final request. We'd really appreciate any feedback that you have on this session to help us plan future sessions as well. So the link is in the chat. Amy Busey posted that, and we really appreciate all of you. I know there's one last question about finding the quiz. It seems like it is right at the end. It's that check your knowledge, Hala. But if you have additional questions, I don't know if there's someone from the STEPE team who those questions can be sent to. But if not, they can certainly come to the help desk and they will be routed and an answer will be given. And we want to be respectful of everybody's time, but there are a few more questions left. So if you do need to leave, thank you for joining. And if the STEPE team can stay on for just a moment or two, you may see that there are some other questions. And Melk, go ahead.
Hello, everyone. First of all, it's not a question, but I just wanted to share something about the whole, Mighty app in general. I started using it, from the annual meeting this year, last year, and it was really cool. And I, went through the app and I, saw Cassie and Christy and Allison, everyone, generally when you guys were just talking about organizations I wanted to share something, but I didn't want to cut you guys off. But it's really cool when, you use the recognizations in the app. I think it's really cool. It genuinely is a loving way to give someone, what you think about what they did. Um, I think it's really cool and it's really amazing. And I did give, recognizations to Christine, Cassie, and Allison, and I think Peter too. I don't remember though. It was a long time ago, but yeah, you guys genuinely deserve it. And if anyone really if you guys just go through the app, you're gonna find a lot of amazing things in it. I really love this app, and I'm so thankful for you guys for giving us this opportunity to just know more about Globe through, the internet, since we can't really be with each other, all the time at the same place. So yeah, thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Great to hear that. And I think all the other questions have been answered. So with that, we will close the room, but thank you. Good to end on a lovely note like that and hear from you. Take care, everyone.